Hi guys, it's Alicja here, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the visual illusions that you need to be aware of while drawing. And I decided to make this video because our brains kind of translate things differently and it can be a difficult thing to replicate it without really understanding it and understanding how your brain perceives the things before you draw them, you know. I'm just going to jump straight into it, but I want to remind you that you can already like this video and you can already subscribe to my channel. But anyway, number one is colors that appear different than what they actually are. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen this photo of strawberries that appear red, but actually when you color sample it, they're not red at all. It's because of the contrast and the way that our brain translates everything into something that just makes sense. So when you see a picture that is blue toned completely, and there are some objects that have absence of this color, so they are more grayish instead of blue, they will appear red to you because it's on the opposite side of the color scheme. So when you draw from a picture that is heavily toned in one color, it can get complicated and difficult to really draw it and make it look good because it just gets tricky in the process. It doesn't look that good in the process. But I have one easy fix for you. Just draw the colors as you want, just in the colors that you think the objects are, just vibrant. You don't need to think about the tone of the whole picture at all until the final steps. I'm talking about digital art, so a new layer on top of all the other layers and then fill it in with the color, the one color that you want, blue for example, and then use the effect overlay.
So this is how overlay effect looks. You can see on the left how it looks with 0, 20%, 40% and 60%. Most of the time you won't use 100% or anything more than 60%. And it looks very nice. It changes the colors in a particular way. But you can also use effect liner burn. You can also see how it affects the drawing and it makes it kind of darker. I really like this effect. I think this one is my favorite. And you also have the color burn, which works almost the same, although you can see on the bottom of those images that it doesn't change the color of it, so it can get pretty tricky though.
And you can also just do it when you make custom drawings and you want it to give some kind of sphere, like warm. You can add red tone, and with cold you can add blue tone, so it all appears a little bit more blue, you know. And that makes it really easy because you don't need to think about the colors all the time and how they will fit together. If you're lazy, it's a good fix for you. I'm lazy, so that's why I know it. Anyway, alright, so number 2, soft light reflection. This one is also an illusion in my opinion because your eyes don't catch this detail right away. It's about light that jumps from one object to another object, creating this soft reflection, just like how I explained it in this one video. You can see how the colors from my sweatshirt transform onto my face because of the reflection of it. So if you want to know more about it, I will leave the link in the description of this video so you can watch it because I explain it very much in detail, so there's no point to saying it all over again. So yeah, just go to this video. Number 3 is contrast. So we all know about the light and dark contrast, but there are also, for example, saturation contrast, hue contrast, or warm and cold tone contrast, which I talked about in this video, which you also can watch. I will leave the link in the description of this video, but it's not about that. The contrast I'm talking about right now is the detail texture contrast. So to make it simple, just like photographers, they make pictures, they take pictures and they use focus in their camera to give attention to one thing. For example, a face or anything that's important in this particular picture. So all the other things are a little bit more blurry, and artists can do kind of the same thing but with details. For example, when you draw a face, you can give a lot of details to the eyes, to the face, you know. You can skip the shoulders, the t-shirt, even big chunks of hair. And it looks even better when you do that, when you leave a lot of things unfinished. When you leave a lot of things that are not important unfinished, the one object that's really detailed gets a lot of attention, like people really look at it and it's really clear what is the center of the attention. And also, a lot of things that are not too detailed just look better. Like sometimes you can get really caught in making everything really detailed and you don't have to. You can choose what to detail more and what to detail less, you know. And just like what WLOP, I don't know how to pronounce that name, he does it too with backgrounds. You can see that the backgrounds are not ugly, but just unfinished, not really detailed, maybe blurry, you know. And the background itself, it doesn't look good, but it looks amazing in contrast with a detailed person in the middle, with a detailed object that you need to focus on. And I will show you a little bit more examples of how other people do it, just like Cyrene, for example. That's actually a tip I read from her book, so you can get it. I really recommend it. You can see it on her drawings, like faces are really detailed, and the other things not really, and it looks good. It looks really, really good like that, and you also save a lot of time. So yeah, when objects that are unfinished and undetailed are in a contrast with detailed objects, those undetailed objects just look good just because of the contrast with those detailed objects. So I guess it's an illusion, right? And it's a really nice thing for the lazy people just like me. Number 4 is the eye size. This is actually kind of a mistake, which is connected to a visual illusion, which so many people make, and I hate it so much. I go crazy when I see it every time, and I see it so much. Look, your brain, you see a face from this perspective, your brain is like, no, this eye is smaller. So everyone draws this eye small, so much smaller, and it looks so bad. Often you don't even realize how bad it makes the drawing look, because for your brain it makes sense. Your brain is like, no, this is smaller, draw it smaller, but it's not. It might appear for you like some crazy logic that your brain tries to convince you with. It's not. I'll show you with the lines how the same height the eyes are. This eye will be kind of thinner, like this, but like this is the same. Just don't listen to your brain. Listen to me. Okay? Okay. Number 5 is it's hard to draw good outlines of things that have a lot of shadows. As I said, our brain translates everything we see into something that makes sense. So when you see a face, you don't really see the exact measurements and the exact true shapes, the sizes and composition of everything. You just see what your brain wants you to see. It's because of the shadows. Shadows make things appear different than what they actually are. Just like how people do makeup and they use bronzer to make your face look thinner. And it's with everything. Every object has shadows. That's how everything works. So everything will look wrong without shadows. If you want to draw really realistically, really replicate the face, for example, it will not look good until you add the same shadows as in a picture. You can get frustrated because your sketch doesn't look good, so you make it a little bit more acceptable for your brain. So without shadows, it looks more accurate, and then you color it in, and then it doesn't look accurate. Because then with the shadows, it doesn't look good anymore because the composition is changed to look good without the shadows. So you need to keep that in mind, and for example, to see what I mean exactly, I'll take my face right now, I will outline it for you, and then I will take the picture away to show you how weird and different my face looks when it's only an outline of my face. It's really ugly, it doesn't really look good, and I drew myself a few days ago. I can show you this video, it's a really nice video.
To the stars.
And it was really hard for me. I know it's stylized, but when I did the outline, I realized like, wow, just the defining lines of my face are so not like me. They don't look like me at all. A lot of starting artists just don't keep that in mind, that it will not look good without shadows. So yeah, that was the last one. And I actually have much more in my mind. So I can make another video. I can make part 2 if you want. So if you want part 2, leave a comment below that you like this video and that you want more. Make sure to give this video a Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you want to see my face once again, then make sure to subscribe to my channel with the bell icon so you get notified every time I post a new amazing video. So thank you guys for watching. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.